The morning felt different. Though everything around me appeared unchanged, sunlight slipped through the curtains in pale ribbons. Brushing across the floor, the faint scent of old coffee still lingered, and the steady tick of the wall clock echoed like a heartbeat. In the quiet, yet every familiar sound almost
Felt
intrusive.
sharper.
The hum of the refrigerator stretched through the stillness, and even the air felt heavier, as if the house itself was holding its breath. Ever since my husband died, the world inside these walls had grown hollow. Rooms wider, hallways longer, silence deeper. I tried to stay busy. Cleaning a counter already spotless. Refolding towels, straightening frames that didn't need fixing. Every motion felt mechanical, my body moving but my heart somewhere else. The silence followed me like a shadow. Sometimes I'd glance over my shoulder, expecting to see him standing there, my husband smiling faintly like he always did. But there was only emptiness. Then from upstairs came the soft creak of footsteps. My son. His steps were slower now, as though the weight of loss clung to him too. At breakfast, he sat across from me at the small dining table. My son, same quiet boy with dark hair and gentle eyes, stirred his cereal without taking a bite. The spoon clinked softly against the bowl. He didn't look up. I told myself it was grief, that he was just trying to understand what happened. But when his gaze finally lifted, it stayed on me a moment too long, his expression unreadable. Something inside me twisted. When he finally stood and left the table, I didn't know if I felt relieved or even more alone. That night, the silence deepened until it felt alive. I sat in the living room under the dim glow of a small lamp. A book lay open on my lap, unread. The clock ticked louder with every passing second. I thought my son was asleep. His door closed, the hallway dark. Then I sensed it, someone watching. I looked up and saw him standing in the doorway, his silhouette framed by the faint light. "You should be asleep," I whispered, but he didn't move instead. He walked forward slowly and sat across from me, fidgeting with the hem of his shirt. His voice shook when he finally spoke. "Mom, can I ask you something?" The air felt heavy between us. I nodded carefully, heart budding in my chest. He hesitated, eyes flickering from the floor to the light, and then finally to me. "Do you ever get lonely at night?" The words lingered in the air, fragile and loaded to anyone else. It would sound innocent, a boy asking about loneliness. The way he said it made my chest ache. I forced a small smile. "Everyone feels lonely sometimes," I murmured, especially after losing someone. He nodded quickly, his hands shaking slightly. Then softly he asked, "Do you ever talk about it, or just keep it inside?" He leaned forward, his voice barely above a whisper. "Sometimes when I see you sitting here alone, it feels like you're waiting for someone, like you wish someone would come back." His words struck something deep within me. My pulse quickened, breath shallow. Silence stretched between us. And then he asked quietly, "Will you ever love someone again?" "Mom, could you—" For a moment I froze. The phrasing, the tone, it all carried echoes of something forbidden. But then his eyes filled with tears. His voice broke as he said, "I didn't mean it like that. I just don't want to lose you too." The truth hit me hard. He wasn't reaching for love. He was grasping for what remained of family. His grief mirrored my own. He trembled, words spilling out between sobs. "Sometimes it feels like you're gone too. You don't talk, you don't smile. You just fade," his voice cracked. I moved from my chair and pulled him into my arms. For the first time since his father's death, I let myself cry with him. All the walls between us shattered. The silence that haunted us finally broke. That fragile embrace. I understood this was never a story about boundaries or confusion. It was about survival, about two broken hearts, learning to hold on to each other in the wreckage of loss. The house no longer felt haunted, only quiet, and in that quiet, for the first time, I could finally breathe.